Hey there, toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, and this finally is Transformers Studio Series 86-26 Dinobot Swoop. Leader Class, all the way from the animated motion picture from 1986. And what a wonderful, wonderful figure. I know I'm late to bringing this to the screen, but here in the UK, this literally landed. And I'm literally doing it as soon as it's arrived. But yeah, I don't know why in this day and age, big toy corporations and indeed other corporations with products have to have this sort of delay and country to country wait to release stuff. Why they can't just release it all at once as part of the hype and tie in their marketing and schedule their transportation. I mean, it's frustration. But anyway, park the frustration. Swoop has landed, and oh my god, I love this figure. I'll quickly show you the box. I'm sure you couldn't really care. Again, it's a Studio Series 86 box, so there we have Swoop's lovely detailing here on the front. We have Swoopy swooping on the side and the various product shots on the back. Frankly, I don't care about the packaging. You can see I've removed the Studio 86 diorama, which is the Fight for Autobot City, and I've placed Swoop on it. Again, packaging's lovely. The artwork is lovely. It always is. I don't care today. Today, I care about this. Now, I don't know why I've said that, and immediately I do know why. I was going to say I don't know why I'm quite so hyped about this particular figure. He does come with two swords, just before anyone asks. I've just attached it to the back. This one is Grimlock sword, but it does have storage at the space. I will take it off, though, because I can just feel it getting ready to drop off at the earliest opportunity. When I the Dinobots were my first sort of collectible aim of the G1 Transformers back in the 1980s. And it was only through reading the comics that I became aware of the fifth member, notably Swoop, and the fact that Swoop was not available here in the UK. So he became a holy grail, and he was, back before the days of these sort of cheap knockoff websites, and which I will remain nameless, and various other and certain third-party things. Back in the day before that, when eBay was doing what eBay was there to do, which was to sell second-hand and third-hand stuff, for example, I did actually manage to get a G1 Swoop. But it wasn't until I was well into my adult years. But I got one, and I was so excited to finally have one, so I could have my full team of G1 Dinobots. And I think the fact that Swoop was the last one to be released in this Studio Series 86 line has evoked a lot of that sense of, I don't have a Swoop. Is there going to be an issue with me getting a Swoop? Oh my goodness me. But there we go. That's enough of my personal midlife. Where's my Swoop crisis? Let's take a look at the figure, and you can already see that the colours on this pop. I mean, they've done so well with these Dinobots. If nothing else, Studio Series 86 has given us a fantastic array of Dinobots. Honest to goodness. I'm going to zoom in for the purposes of going through him. That head sculpt with those blue eyes, absolutely wonderful. I love it. The Autobot crest there on his chest, fantastic. His posability, I'm not going to bore you with tons of posability. You know how it works with a Leader Class figure. We have we have wrist, elbow, bicep, shoulder articulation, neck articulation, and all the articulation you would expect in the legs. You do have the fake flap there, so his leg is a single entity that can lift up there. You've got the knee bend there. He has got some toe swivel there. Toe swivel there as well. Yep. I mean, he's got everything you need. He's got waist articulation, because of course he has. We can slightly lift the beak section out just to give him even more waist articulation. So let's accept that he's a very, very posable, dynamic figure. And you know, I just can't tell you how delighted and thrilled I am to have this guy in the ranks of the Dinobots. So let's carry on looking at the detailing. You can see the detailing on the wings there, very beautifully detailed. There's detailing all down the chest. There's detailing down the legs, that wonderful gold paintwork. The legs, again, beautifully detailed. The feet detailed, detail. And again, there really isn't. Let's look at the back. You can see the detailing there. There's sort of a little bit of, well, actually there isn't really, is there? Because this is robot design. This is hydraulics and engineering designs. Yes, we've got some screw stuff, but apart from the holes here, which is where his ankles presumably are gonna go. Oops, these aren't particularly stiff. There's not really any hollowness, and yes, we have. I'm saying that, and there's a hollow bit there, but that's for his wrist. There's not for his hand, rather. There's not much we can do about that. But you know, with appropriate posing, we're not going to see it, are we? You know, that's not something that's going to draw my eye particularly. And there's just so much to love. I'm just trying to get him to stand up. There's just so much to love about this figure. I'll zoom out again now so that you can get the full experience. I can't sing its praises enough. I really can't. I've not transformed him yet. As I say, I've literally rushed to do this from his arrival, so I'm going to do the transformation shortly. But I think this is it the best Dinobot figure? I don't know. I think they're all fantastic in their own way, but certainly this one has just connects with me in a way I can't describe. It really does. I'm gonna transform him in a second, and then I'll talk to you about how easy or otherwise. I have seen some online transformations already, so it looks pretty straightforward. For those of you new to the channel, I very rarely do on-screen transformations, just because they can take a while, especially because I usually haven't done them before. So this isn't a tutorial. This is usually me trying to see how easy the transformation is, any sticking points, any issues that I have that I can then share afterwards without you being subjected to my frustrations, anxieties and possible temper tantrums along the way. But I have to say, first impressions of this figure, you hold him, he's solid, he's not droopy, he's stiff where he should be. Interpret that how you want. He's poseable, he has a characterful face, and he's very true to the original. And like all the other Dinobots, he hits the right blend between cartoon accurate, toy accurate, and modern Transformers generations aesthetic. I'm super impressed and so happy that I have him. Right, I'm going to transform him now. While I'm doing that, please take a second to like the video, if you do like the video. And if you don't like the video, I'll take a pity like. I'm not proud. But also, it would be fantastic if you could drop a subscription to the channel, basically because that will help me get to my next subscriber milestone. It costs you nothing, it requires no commitment from you, and it absolutely would help me and my dinky channel here just get a little bit more noticed, and that would be fantastic. But if you don't want to do either of those things, that's also fine. I'm just happy that you're here for the ride. Anyway, don't go away, don't touch that dial, and Swoop and I will be right back. And we're back with a vengeance, with Swoop all transformed up into his, well, it's I was going to say dinosaur mode, but there's a debate that is he actually a dinosaur? I think he's a pterodon, and they're not technically dinosaurs, but you know what? He's still a Dinobot, and that's all that matters. So this is him in his sort of sitting and listening to Cup telling stories mode. So his wings sort of fold in that way. He's got a very expressive beak, and those blue eyes carry forward, as you can see here on that fantastic head. Let's just go in and have a look at that pterodon head sculpt, which is really beautiful. And there's those wonderful eyes and the Autobot symbol there, and the sort of crest on of his neck. He does have an opening jaw there. There is a little blast effects port in there. I've not tried it yet to see if it works with blast effects, but it's there. And so there is that agility, so he can look up and down. And the body is the same, but here we have his little feet. His little feet can then move into that position for sitting purposes. They can also be extended for when he takes flight. When he takes flight, we have the head moved back here. Close that little flap there, and extend the wings out. There are some nice double hinges. I'll move out again slightly so you can see this. It's a shame, considering it's a leader class, that there's no flight stand for him, because his wingspan is quite something. As with all the Dinobots, they're quite hefty in Dinobot mode, and he's, despite being quite a compact bird form, he is still quite, you know, he has heft and length, and a lot of people enjoy heft and length, so it would be nice to be able to display it properly with a bit of a flight stand unique perhaps to Swoop. So it's a shame that we didn't get one of those incorporated, considering they deigned to give other Dinobot leader class figures inoperable Wheelie and inoperable Daniel. It would have been nice to have had a flight stand to make up for all of that. Again, the G1, the transformation is very similar to the G1. You can see the lovely lines through. I think, I mean, there's the head in action. You've got his weapons attached under the wing. I'm going to just turn him around this way so you can get an actual really good look at the wings. I think they're lovely. The detailing on the wings is fantastic. You can see that there. The Autobot insignia is there, of course. But yeah, again, lots of lovely detailing. And again, a wonderful, to my mind, a wonderful addition. A wonderful addition to the Dinobot clan. I think it's truly. See if he can. He probably won't want to, but he might just hold his position there long enough for me to get a nice sort of aerial shot-ish of him. Very hard to pose him in the aerial shot when he doesn't really have a flight stand or the capacity to be held in that position. But you can get a sense of the size of him there. But yeah, he is it's a fantastic, well, it's a fantastic toy. I was going to say it's a fantastic model. I'm just going to fold him back into seating mode so he can again get comfortable and listen to some of Cup's stories. There we go. Just fold those in a little bit more so he's comfortable, and you can sit there, Swoop, and listen to everything that's being said to you. So, have you managed to pick up Dinobot Swoop? Again, he was such a sought-after item. I know he sold out almost immediately when he went on pre-order. Another prime example of the curse of pre-ordering, to pre-order or not pre-order. But I have done another video about whether or not pre-ordering is a good idea. You can check that out in my Toyvolution playlist. But I really love him. I think he's a fantastic addition. He screams G1 Swoop. He's, of course, far more detailed and heftier than the actual G1 Swoop. I think he's going to be fantastic up against his compatriots. I do wonder, looking at the Dinobots, as I was doing slightly earlier today, we know we're going to get Studio Series 86 Constructicons forming Devastator, and we've had an idea of what those size classes are going to be like. But I must admit, I do wonder how that will look, pairing that Devastator up against the Dinobots when it comes to doing so. I can't see it will be scale appropriate in terms of the cartoon. But as I say, it'd be interesting to see what we can do, because I want to see if they can actually pick up Sludge in Devastator mode. That's something for the future. So what do you think of this? Do you think Swoop Studio Series 86 variant is a good purchase? Do you think he's worth the leader class money? Have you collected all the Dinobots or not? What would you most like to see coming into the Studio Series 86 range? Let me know in the comments down below. I love reading them. I love hearing from them. And also, if you are relatively new to the channel, or this is the first time you've actually decided to subscribe to the channel, let me know you've done that too in the comments, and I'll happily say hello and welcome along for the ride down there. I love Swoop. I love all the Dinobots, really. They've really reinvigorated them, or at least they're part of my reinvigoration of collecting. I think I'd be lying if I didn't acknowledge that. And Swoop is an absolute dream to have in the collection. Very easy to transform. This hasn't quite tabbed together as I would like it to. You've probably noticed that in the middle there. I have tried. I didn't want to force it too much, and again, I think it's something I'll explore more when I actually mess with him in my own terms, rather than transforming him for the purposes of the video. But yeah, very straightforward, very easy. Didn't take very long at all. Again, thrilled, absolutely loving this figure. And I think what I'll do, now that we have all 5 of the Dinobots, I think I'll do a bit of a retrospective on the Dinobots, their Studio Series 86 forms, and I'll possibly dig out my G1 along with my relatively recently purchased a G1 Swoop. It's not that recent, but compared to the others, it's very recent. And we can have a bit of a side-by-side playoff, if you like. Anyway, do let me know the thoughts in relation to those questions in the comments below. I have asked, and it's entirely at your discretion if you want to like the video and drop a subscription to the channel. Either way is absolutely fine by me. I'm just glad you spent some time with me on this video today. I do look forward to seeing you in a future video, or of course a past video, given that I am the Triple TC, which is the time travelling toy collector. You've been a fantastic audience. This has been Swoop Studio Series 86, entry number 26. Yeah, it just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care. Bye-bye for now.